Hey, everybody, what is up? This is Brian with the DeTalented Podcast, and we are back. We aren't live, but we are back. I am with my cohort, Jimmy DeTalent. Jimmy.
Yeah, man.
How are we going to do it today? How you feeling, man?
Fantastic.
Been having a good week?
I have.
Man, that's like, that was almost nasty nice.
Yeah, see.
It's like one of them.
See, I had to fix it, man. I was down there for a while.
Well, I'm excited, man.
I'm super excited.
Tonight is the first episode that we're going to be moving to premiere on Thursdays.
Yeah.
At 6. So if you're watching this during the premiere, happy Thursday. We have been airing on Saturdays, and we're going to move that to try to make it available for a few more people. Don't forget, not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but go ahead and click that subscribe button, like the video, make a comment on it. It doesn't cost a thing. Ain't that right, Jimmy?
It doesn't cost a thing, but you know what?
What?
I'm not even going to say it. Just do it. Just do it, people.
Just do it.
That's it. That's easy.
Please. It's really not hard.
I can't keep these alligators down today. I'm so excited about this next guest.
I know. I'm pretty excited too, man. So let me just preface a little bit. I came to hear you play the other night because
that was out of pity.
I'm just that kind of supportive brother, you know.
You are.
And when I did, I seen this soulless.
You're right.
I can say it.
There's no soul.
I can say
you
it.
can't say it, can't you?
I just seen this little red beard and not little. I'm sorry. Hold on.
I mean,
a decent red beard, right? Little, you know, to us, little baby beard, but it's going to be there. He's a young man.
He's getting there.
And you called him up to sing, and I was like, oh man. And so I found out that he has quite a little thing going on, man.
You just used the word little again.
Well, I don't mean little. Okay, I mean he's got this.
He's got this
big thing going on,
this
right?
Big thing going on.
And really, I enjoyed his music. And man, dude, just so you know, before I even introduce you, I've been blowing your Spotify up.
I can attest to that.
Yeah,
I can attest to that. Went over to his house the other day and walked in and heard. Well, we haven't even named a guest yet, but I heard this artist's music blasting.
That's right.
On Brian DeTalent's Spotify.
So with no further ado, let's introduce Jimmy. You introduce him. You introduce him to me, so I'm gonna let you introduce him to the world, man.
He's my friend. He's your friend. He's my little brother. He's your soon-to-be little brother, Sam Hahn. Give it up for Sam Hahn. Clap in your cars, clap in your living rooms, clap in your bathroom. If you're on the toilet watching this podcast, give it up for Sam Hahn.
Sam Hahn, say hi, man.
You guys made me sound way more interesting than I am. I promise you all that.
Well, I don't think so, but hey, that's our job, right? So,
that is.
But it's not true, man, because you're. It's already interesting, man. I'm gonna be honest. The first thing I notice is, I think you told me a while ago you're 27 years old, right? Your music's not 27 years old. Hell of a Ride is really good song. Dude, I've been rocking that, man. Song. Yeah, I've been rocking that song. So what's up, man? What's your who does your writing? Tell us about your band, because I know you're in it. You got some band members, and maybe we'll shout them out. Maybe we'll even talk to them, you know, on another episode. Maybe get all the guys in here one day. Man, welcome. Glad you're here, and
thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. What you got going on, and what you're into and all that good stuff.
Well, I'll try to keep it short and sweet.
Don't keep it short. We got all night. We got
all night, baby.
Because I don't think you want to hear about me too much. I think Jimmy's got some good stories that he needs to tell. But
man, we hear his stories all the time.
Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. No, but so I got into music in the middle of COVID. I got sent home from Purdue because of COVID, and I got bored. Picked up a guitar that I knew a couple chords and really taught myself how to play and got into it. So I've been new to this whole music thing. I've been having a blast with it. Played a lot of shows at the beginning with a good buddy named Daniel Williams. He kind of forced me into playing shows. Would not have played shows if it weren't for him. Then he hooked me up with a producer down in Nashville, and his name is Sean Rogers.
Who's he worked with?
Who?
Sean Rogers.
He just does it solo.
Okay.
Independent, awesome dude.
Okay.
Does it out of his basement.
Okay.
So we went down there and wrote a song for Daniel called On Track, and he released and recorded that one. Then went back down there and we wrote Hell of a Ride. Me, Daniel, and Sean did, and recorded that one. That was my first release. So that was probably about 3 years ago that happened. And the whole music thing started probably about 4 years ago.
So hold on. I got a stopping point already. So you just started playing music in COVID, which is 4 years ago?
2021, 2020,
2021,
4 to 5 years ago, 4 years.
It's all running together.
Bro,
It
you're light speed.
Yeah, man.
Wow. So you had never played guitar or?
So I took lessons when I was younger, but I never practiced. So I took the lessons and I was taught like a G and a C and an E minor and a D, and that's about it. And that's still about all I can play, to be honest.
That is all
That's all you need, man.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
I knew those things, and Daniel's mom was actually the one who first gave me guitar lessons.
Okay.
Back in the day, I went to high school with Daniel, and she gave my sister and I guitar lessons, and my sister didn't stick with it at all.
Daniel Williams, you say?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, and he's doing his own thing now. We were playing together for a long time, and we both released some songs on our own, and we're like, we should probably get our own bands, do our own thing, but we still stay in contact all the time.
Is he around town? Local?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he lives 3 minutes from my house.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So just old friend kind of taught you how to play a few chords, and it kind of went from there, huh?
Basically, yeah.
That's awesome.
You know who taught me my first chord?
I don't.
Why would you? I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I can tell you who it was.
Was it Brian?
It was.
So,
all of that over there, it was because of me.
So who's better now?
Oh, I'm not even. I can pick rhythm a little bit at best.
Oh, don't let him fool you.
Jimmy can play.
No, I can't.
Yeah,
play.
Jimmy's a shredder, man.
I'm not a shredder.
You are a shredder.
If I watch Caleb play and it makes me not want to play.
Oh,
I watch Trevor play. I don't want to play. All these young cats. Caleb's ridiculous, man.
What is Logan East?
Insane.
Logan plays key. Don't let me say it. Say it, Sam. What's Logan East do in your band?
So Logan East is the mastermind. He's like the smart guy. He makes the smart decisions. He's the mature one that keeps us on our toes. Plays keyboard. He's one of the smartest guys musically that I have ever met.
Yeah.
It is insane.
If anything is like his dad, he's probably all around smart.
Yeah.
That's man. I can't. I say that all the time. I have for years. His dad is amazing.
His
awesome. Dad is.
He is
great.
awesome.
Let me tell you, man. So
Scary
see,
good.
I grew up where my dad. We were talking earlier about our kind of church background. My dad's a old pastor, a Pentecostal pastor, and so Dave East was in all of these Pentecostal bands, and they went around to all the churches. Right. The main one that I remember and love was the Gospel Sounds.
Yeah,
Come
the Gospel Sounds. I blanked. Yeah,
you did blank.
I did.
I'm ashamed.
I'm
right
so
now.
sorry.
Anyway,
the Gospel Sounds.
But there was a point where people wanted him to come play, but they didn't want him to come play because they literally had to replace the keys on their keyboard when he would leave.
Oh, he would wade through.
He
keyboards.
would wade through them old upright pianos, just blast them, dude. Keys be flying off the thing.
You think I'm hard on guitars,
dude?
Yeah, that dude was.
He was a
keyboards.
world chip, but he can play anything.
So,
He's so good. He can sing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, golly, man, it's crazy.
So
good.
Logan inherited that.
100%. 100%.
And I think Logan's even won some awards already, like some junior stuff that he did in the gospel genre that he played in. Because I'm sure I've seen his dad post that, man.
You're probably right.
It was like last year or something like that.
I'll have to ask him about that.
I know the kid's good, man. I know he's good.
He does harmony also. He's all around.
Of course.
He's learning harmonica right now.
Yeah.
Why didn't he bust that out the other day on the
because he's probably already like John Popper.
Probably,
He's an East.
man.
And you got to understand. So there's a whole family of them, right? Who we're all from, and they're all the kind of people that can just pick up instruments and play them. You know what I mean? They're all.
Logan plays guitar, does it all.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The whole family, man, that family's talented, man.
Yeah, I pulled him up the other night and sang. I told you that he sang Tennessee Whiskey. Man, killed it.
Man, have you ever heard Vicky Culbertson sing?
Yes.
Aaron's mom.
In her living room.
She's a fantastic.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She wrote this song called "Where the Flowers Never Die," a gospel song, dude. It'll have you. I don't care who you are.
Yeah,
it'll have you like, ooh, you know what I mean. And then plus when you got someone whose voice has the ability to move you. But I'm one of them guys, man.
My voice moves people. It moves people out the door.
Out the door.
I sing and they start walking out the door.
I'm kind of like amazing. I'm kind of like Bert
Jimmy starts
Fried
singing,
chicken.
you got to buy another bucket of beer.
This'll help.
Dude, yeah.
He sounds so much better.
This guy sounds decent now.
This is for all of you. That's awesome.
So round out the band for us. Who else plays?
Yeah, so it's a long story how we got together.
Okay.
By the grace of God, you know, it's one of those things where I needed to get a band together because I was playing acoustic stuff. And I was like, if I really want to go places with this, I got to get a band together somehow. I got hooked up with Kevin Minnis, and I was like, Kevin.
How'd you meet Kevin?
So the whole thing's a long story. It's a cool story.
Okay.
So I opened for a band, Tailgate Revival, for a fundraiser for the Posey County Fair. And I got to know all them and know Blake Billman, who's the lead singer. He gave me his number, great dude. And so I texted him a couple weeks after that. I was like, hey, I'm trying to get a band together. First thing first, I need a guitar player, I think. And he was like, I'm going to hook you up with this guy. His name's Kevin Minnis. Just send him a text. He'll be able to help you out. So I sent Kevin a text, never talked to him, met him in my life.
Kevin the concierge.
Insane. So I texted Kevin, sent him this long paragraph. He got back with me literally right away.
Yeah, he's like that. He's such a good guy.
Right away. He was like, hey, man, funny story, actually. So I was in the shop the other day, and somebody started playing your music. And I was like, holy cow, this guy he's got something. I was like, that's pretty wild that 2 days ago you heard my music and I'm texting
and now here you are.
Yeah.
The whole thing, the good Lord just blessed me with it. So
He does that.
I texted him and I was like, Kevin, I need a guitar player. So he's like, I'll look around for you. Like a week later, he texted me. He's like, hey, so funny story. This guy that I haven't seen in years came into my shop for an open house. Talked to him. He's not in a band anymore. He's just looking to play. I'll send you his info. So he sent me his info, sent me his name, his number. And you know, when you get a name or something, you look him up online. You're like,
Sure.
I got to look into this guy
Yeah,
first.
of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't find a thing on this guy.
No Facebook. No
Nothing.
Facebook to stalk.
He's
huh?
just wiped off the face of this
He
planet.
doesn't exist. This guy does not
Incognito.
He
exist.
does not exist. So I'm like, this guy, Kevin, is either messing with me or this guy's got no social media whatsoever, which is not normal for people our age.
Right.
So I texted this guy and I'm like, all right, Kevin Minnis sent me your number and your name. And like, I'm looking for a guitar player. You want to get together sometime and just jam? So he came over to my house, pulled up in what we now call the Silver Bullet, walks out of his car. He's got this long blonde hair, looks like Slash, but a lot shorter, less tattoos, a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he gets all this equipment out that's like worth more than I've ever dreamed of playing a guitar. And I'm like, I'm way in over my head right now. What am I doing? So he gets in my basement and he just starts shredding. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's way too good for me. And so we had a good time and we're like, well, let's do it again. So we got together again and we're like, well, now we need a drummer. So I put on a Southern Indiana Facebook message board, whatever, looking for a drummer, and got a lot of messages from that. And one of them mentioned Kevin Minnis. I'm like, all right, this is the one I'm going to respond to.
Right.
Right.
So his name is Jeremy Adams. He's from Washington, Indiana. He used to be in a band, no longer in a band, but plays in his church.
Yeah, man.
And
First time. I'll interject my first Jeremy Adams story.
please.
First time I think we were at Bud's.
Jeremy plays drums, right?
He plays
Okay.
drums.
Yeah.
And Kevin and I'm notorious. You know this, Sam. I'm notorious for pulling whoever out of the crowd. Oh, you can play? Let's do this. Kevin has adopted that same mentality from me. And we were on break, and he was like, "Jeremy plays." I was like, "What do you want to play, Jeremy? We're gonna play Simple Man. You think you can play Simple Man?" He was like, "I'll give it a shot." And then we pulled Todd Green out of the audience too. Todd sang.
I love Todd.
Yeah,
man.
Todd sang, and then Jeremy got up there and just killed those drums. So that was
The first time we all got
introduction.
together, he showed us that video.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he was
There's a
like,
video.
guys, I'm not proud of this. I had a few too many beers. It wasn't very good.
Oh, he
I was like,
killed it.
I was like, dude, that's fine. You killed it.
So then he answered so there was an ad, and then he had Kevin.
So he
tagged
messaged
him.
me.
Okay.
And he name dropped Kevin, which was a great idea.
Right.
So he came over and practiced with us, and it went great. We all hooked up. And one thing Kevin told me too when I was looking for guys is he said, look for guys who you enjoy hanging out with, who you have fun with.
100%.
Absolutely.
Don't
man.
look for the best musicians
Man,
here.
Yeah.
I learned that a long time ago. It's like, man, no, we don't all have to be the best musicians at all.
Yeah.
Are you cool? Can we hang out together?
Yeah, can we get along?
Can we spend
can't do-
14 hours
yeah.
in a van
Yeah.
together
Traveling
and
and
hanging
playing,
out?
practice-
Yeah, that's
get-
more important than finding a phenom.
Amen.
So
100%.
But I'll say that about Kevin while you're telling this story. He's really good on delivering. Like, people will say that, hey man, can you help me with this? Or do you know a guy? And so many people, I probably do it a lot. Yeah, man, let me check around.
Yeah.
Not out of ill intent, I forget. But like, if you ask Kevin, hey man, and I'm old.
He went from traveling 14 hours on the highway to sleeping 14 hours in a van down by the river.
True story.
Oh God.
So
we'll circle back to that one.
Kevin will deliver the goods.
100%.
He does.
On that.
So man of his word.
He's a beast.
All right. So
I don't want to talk him up too much because he's going to listen. He's going to.
We already did last week. We told the world
him a little bit.
Like the guy's freaking making guitars for Old 60 and Ella Langley's guitarist, and
now it's time we start just bringing him back down to earth.
Yeah.
So
Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We love you.
We love you, Kevin.
Stay humble.
Stay humble. Stay humble. All right.
He's the humblest guy ever. He already is.
He honestly is, man.
Kevin, that's a joke. Right, we love you, buddy.
I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of talking good about Kevin. We're done. Kevin, your name will not be mentioned again. So then we got Caleb.
Got Caleb and got Jeremy.
We got Jeremy. Okay.
So we practiced, and so this was probably like the beginning of October when us three got together.
Okay.
And
of 2024.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So then at that point, Thanksgiving was coming up about a month and a half. Thanksgiving Eve is a big party night, big drinking night, big live music night. So I'm good friends with the owner of the Hornet's Nest, and he's helped me a lot, allowed me to play a lot of acoustic shows when I was just starting. I had no idea what I was doing. And so I was texting him, and he was like, do you and your band want to play the night before Thanksgiving? I'm like, heck yeah. So I agreed to this show with a full band, and I don't even have a full band yet.
I like your style.
Yeah.
Sounds like your style.
So I was like,
absolutely.
I'm stressing about this, but I'm like, all right, Lord, I've been praying, so please keep providing for me. So we're like, all right, we need a bass player. We got to have a bass player. So we put another ad out, had some contacts. And one of them was our now bass player, Isaac Butler. He was in a band at the time, and he was like, yeah, I'm just looking to jam with other people and meet some new people. And we always give him a hard time about this, so I can bring it up publicly. As his profile picture at the time was just, Isaac. He is a very strong fella.
I love Isaac.
We always say he's juicing. Don't know if it's true or not. But
what's up, juicy fruit?
Yeah. And his profile picture was just him with his shirt off flexing on the beach. And we're like, no, we do not want this guy in our band. We do not want this guy. And so we were like, all right, let's try some other people first. So we had a couple other guys. Kevin played bass for us once. We're like, Kevin, you want to join us? He's like, I just don't have time. I'll be completely honest. And so we're like, all right, we're going to have to go to this musclehead on the beach real quick and see what he's about. So we message him, and he comes and practice with us. And Isaac is an awesome dude. He is one of the nicest people that I
salt of the earth. I love Isaac Butler.
He will do anything for you. And so we practiced once, and it went great. We're like, all right, do you want to play this show with us on Thanksgiving Eve after one practice? He was like, yeah, I'd love to, as long as my band right now wasn't doing anything.
Sure.
And they weren't. So during this whole time, I was starting to have some problems with my vocal cords, and I couldn't talk at all. Went to the ENT, and I had GERD. I had all kinds of vocal problems. I had muscle tension, dysphonia. And
yeah, that's not good for a singer.
Not at all.
And it was not fun. And I mean, I could barely talk. It was so bad. So I went on vocal rest for, it was like 3.5, 4. I didn't talk for almost 3.5 weeks straight.
Wow.
At work, it was fun.
Sure.
Because I didn't have to make as many phone calls. Thank the Lord, my dad's my boss, and he could take over some of that for me. And but for practice, it was impossible. We couldn't practice for the show that's on Thanksgiving. That's in less than a month and a half.
You're probably
and I can't sing it.
Trying to get through 40 plus songs, right?
Yeah. 3 hours set, 2 sets, and so we're like, all right, Jeremy doesn't want to sing. Caleb won't sing. So we're like, all right, new guy Isaac on the bass. We need you to learn all these songs on bass and also sing during practice. So he was singing during practice. He was learning the bass, and I'm just over here strumming my acoustic guitar, not talking. I'm talking through Siri on my phone, telling him what we're going to do next. And Isaac was an absolute trooper. He said, he was like, there were nights after practice, he would just like what am I doing? This is not,
How did I get into this?
what am I doing? I hate my life right now. I'm singing and learning these songs. I have no idea how to play. So we made it through, and about like a week before, we were like, all right, I'm going to sing. I'm going to practice the first set. We'll see how it goes. So we practiced the first set with me singing. The second set, we never practiced with me singing. So we played the show. The first set went great. Second set wasn't very good, obviously, because we never practiced with me singing it. So we had an absolute blast in that show, though. I think something inside of us told us after that show, you know, we got something here.
Yeah.
I think we were all very confident in how it went with how few practices we had. And we just had an absolute blast up there.
Well, you can kind of always feel when something just slides into the
when
groove,
when
right?
it clicks
Something
and feels
works.
right out of the gate.
Yeah. And it was so much fun. I mean, I'll never forget that show, playing the first show with those guys. And I mean, the place was packed, and it was just an awesome experience. Something I'll never forget.
So then is the band complete, or?
So the band was not complete yet.
Okay. I like this. Sam is building a story.
Yeah.
Sam is a story.
I told you,
He's a
it's a
storyteller.
long story, but it ends up great. It's got a happy ending.
I
you
like
know?
it.
So far.
Okay.
So then we practiced a few more times. We're like, we need to add something else to this. So during this time, Isaac, his old band, broke up, and he was like, well, there's this guy. He plays the keyboard. He is one of the guys who has taught me more on this bass than anybody. I love playing music with him. He was like, I love playing music more than I ever have just because I play with this guy, because he knows so much. And we're like, yeah, bring him in. So here comes in Logan East, bringing his gigantic keyboard the size of this table. Barely fits in my basement. And we had a practice, and we're like, that was it. That was special.
Yeah.
That was fun. And we're like, Isaac, do you want to join us? Like we didn't have to talk about it long at all. It just, we were like, Logan, please join.
So
Sorry, Logan.
that night, did you say, hey, you want to just be a part of this, or did you wait on it?
You talking about for Logan or
For Logan.
Yeah.
For Logan.
I think
For Logan Lee Lewis?
so.
Logan Lee. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
So his keyboard's so gigantic, we have to help him carry it upstairs.
And he plays all those notes.
He plays
Every single one of those
note?
notes. Yeah.
There ain't no unused keys
No,
on that
all
thing.
those keys. He plays.
No.
He plays them all.
and then he switches between makes different sounds.
Yeah.
I was gonna make it a smarter way to say it, but that's smart as I know.
I tell you what.
I'm sure. I mean, it's just his dad made over. He looks at everything.
Fast forwarding, not to there again. I'm keep interrupting your story.
No,
but,
please do.
I will tell you, man. Like you guys do. The other day, I enjoyed it, man. Everything clicked. I leaned over to Kevin and said, "That man, these guys, this is something like they are very cohesive, and it just flowed, and you could tell that you guys were all connected." I love that intro, dude. Like your intro for your whole show was great, and then you kick in. Seriously, man. I don't know.
The intro was 100% Logan East came up with that.
I figured.
So we got to a practice one time. I was like, guys, we just start songs. We need an intro.
Yeah.
And so I tried saying what like I wanted. I was like, what sounds right? And I was like, no, you guys need to hit it harder, like blah, blah, blah. And Logan's like, no, you guys need to just relax. We're going to come into this smoother and softer. And then he just came up with the whole thing. I was like, that is perfect.
Dude, no, that intro is killer.
He's like ChatGPT.
He is.
Dude.
What do we do? Hold on. Just follow.
So then when was Logan's first show with you?
Logan's first show. So we practiced for a while, and we booked a show at the Ross Keller in Indianapolis.
Okay.
I don't even remember when it was. And we were like, our first show together cannot be up in Indianapolis at the Ross Keller. So we booked a show back at the Hornet's Nest. I texted him. I was like, hey, we're playing in Indianapolis this weekend. Can we play at the Hornet's Nest the weekend before, just get a run through? He's like, yeah. So that's what we did. And it went great, and I'm very glad we had that run through before Indianapolis.
Just iron out the kinks, man.
Exactly. There were a lot of kinks to work out. There's still a lot of kinks to work out, but we're getting there, and we had an absolute blast. And we all got off that stage again at the Hornet's Nest, and we were like, that was just so much fun. I mean, there's nothing else to say other than that was fun. So that's kind of the story of how the band got together, and now we still practice and play a lot of shows and travel together. And you know, it's grown from just guys playing music to, I think we really do feel like we're brothers. Like we text all the time. We hang out.
It shows.
We'll eat pizza. We'll
shows.
drink some beers.
Yeah.
We'll go and watch Jimmy and Kevin play.
Yeah, right on.
We just like hanging out together.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it shows, man.
And that makes such a big difference, man. When you love what you're doing, man. Yeah, obviously, and it's with anything that you do.
Yeah.
But I think when you're doing something like that, because one thing about music and being in a band is it's not only your job, man. That's relational. You got it. Like he said, I think that's some of the best advice I've heard you give a younger musician. It's like, don't go for, look, you weren't going for like the best musicians in the world. And it's funny because Logan East would probably be like, I don't even know him. And he doesn't, but I know him from just watching him almost grow up to his dad, do his stuff. And so I know, and like I said, I know he won some kind of award, and I watched him and how good it is. So, I love that you keep giving God credit. And, you look, God just, that's the way he did it. Sounds like he's just piecing everything together for you, man.
And there's one more very important member, and that would be David East. And he runs all the sound for us.
Yeah.
He makes us sound a lot better than we probably are.
Big Dave East does?
Yeah.
So he comes out and runs sound.
Yes, he does.
That's awesome.
Well, then that is a major help, because that dude is Mr. Music, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll give him his credit.
You need to give him a mic behind the board and let him throw in some extra harmonies for you.
You think Dave will watch this podcast?
I bet he will. Yeah.
I love you, Dave East. I've known you since I was.
I'm
gonna give Dave East some advice.
Give it,
dude. The picture you post when you're promoting stuff on Facebook, you scare me every time because it looks like an obituary picture. Bro, change that.
Dave.
But it worked. It got you talking about
it. That's
it.
right.
Did. No, here's the thing, man. It's funny because we've been talking about this guy for our whole lives, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's, because we both grew up and got into music relatively young.
Yeah.
And, dude, there's some, Dave's just one. We mentioned that band a minute ago, the Gospel Sounds.
Yeah.
Bro, here's one thing, and I don't know if you know this, you might, because it sounds like you're pretty wise, but I've learned that the best musicians in the world that I found are ones that they're not the ones on the big stages in countries.
Oh, yeah.
They're the ones on little bitty church stages.
Yep.
Dude, and there's another guy named Dave Hurd who plays bass. Dude, he's like he's the Dave East of the bass.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I will say that, like, growing up and being able to be in that church band when I was younger.
Yeah, that teaches you.
Man, everybody surrounding me, like, I was just some scrub kid playing. I was a rock and roll guitar player, and all of these guys, Dave East, Dave Hurd, Dan Hurd, all of these guys, Joe, man, they were amazing musicians, and they were just like the void of needing music in a church. And it was like, just we're family, so we gotta get up there and
But you know
play
what gets
music,
me is they make it look so effortless.
Yeah.
I mean, like Dan was a drummer, and he'd jump on piano and just rock it.
And that's what's crazy. You see him play piano and you forget that he was like
he's a drummer.
Yeah.
He's a way better drummer than anything else. I mean, as far as I know. And
well, he was playing drums when he could barely see over his toms.
But then he'll pick up a guitar and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So Logan, we the first show at the Hornet's Nest, there was one song, Riley Green song. There was this girl, and he was going to play acoustic guitar, and I was going to drop the guitar and just kind of sing, try to entertain a little bit. And I totally spaced that at the Hornet's Nest show. So I'm still playing guitar on this song, and Logan has never played this song on the keys in his life until that time live at the Hornet's Nest. And you could not tell. That doesn't insane.
That doesn't surprise me at all. That's what we're talking about. I think that's the advantage that those church musicians have, actually, is that they all come up just playing totally by improv by ear.
And it's not even like, hey, what key is this in? They're just like, they listen and start.
It's all ear. Well, because we grew up in that kind of church.
Mm-hmm.
We don't now, but in the kind of church there was no telling what that song leader was going to bust out next. The band didn't know. Didn't nobody know. My mom was a Pentecostal church song leader, and bro, we would play 15, 16 different songs without ever stopping, and none of us had a set list. None of us
just freestyle.
Just seamless.
That was it.
Going.
That was it.
So impressive.
Yeah.
So you know who I'm always going to bring him up when we talk about church musicians, dude. Let me ask you something. Do you Have you ever watched or ever heard of a show called Snake Salvation?
I have not.
Oh, dude. Okay, this is your
Sounds like I have to.
Yo, you need to.
Yeah. Your assignment is to get on YouTube and look up Snake Salvation. For one thing, just for the entertainment. So there's snake churches, right?
Are you pulling that up?
I can.
Yeah, pull it up.
Okay.
So here's some context, Sam. So have you ever heard of like snake handling churches?
No, I have not.
You've never heard of snake handling churches?
No.
Oh, well, get ready to live.
I need to be educated real quick.
So a lot of these churches, man, I don't, this is primarily like in the Southeast. Like I'm going to say, well, more like Appalachia, like Eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, I think Alabama. There's like this just little pocket of an area. Somehow these people interpreted the Bible. There's a scripture that says, if you were to pick up a snake or something deadly with the Lord on your side, I'm paraphrasing here. You probably
you are paraphrasing.
You probably be okay if you got bit. If you got this faith.
That's the JIV version.
Yeah, that was the
Jimmy International.
Wow, I like it. So they interpreted this as you should go ahead and pick up snakes and show God that you have faith. So a lot of their church services are based around, at some point, they're going to break out these snakes. I can't believe you've never heard of this, Sam. This is pretty interesting to me.
I feel like you're just totally making this up.
I promise you I'm not.
You're about to find out.
A&E or Discovery, some channel, a few years ago came out with like a documentary style reality show called Snake Salvation.
Now, let me just interject real quick. I'm not even on camera, but
okay, go ahead.
Some of this crew are no longer with us.
They didn't make it. They didn't.
So these aren't like garden snakes. These are
no. These are
copperheads, Eastern diamondbacks,
water moccasins, copperheads, and they go find them out and make sure they're poisonous. I mean, they go through the test here. And
I love the Lord, but
I love the Lord too, and He loves me enough to tell me not to pick up a snake.
Not to pick up a copperhead.
I love that the good Lord gave me some common sense.
So anyway, they say they don't want to go to the hospital because their faith in the Lord to get them through. A lot of times they can get through it. I guess it's pretty painful from what I understand. Never been bit by a snake, never been close enough to a snake. If I see a snake, I'm not going to lie. I used to be a fast runner. I could outrun a snake. Not so much anymore.
You're not a fast runner anymore? I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Thanks, Sam. I appreciate you, man. So
I love you, Jim.
I love you too, buddy.
All right, here we go.
With no further ado, this is a little piece of the snake handling church.
Yeah, let me get it up here.
And we got way off, but we're going to bring this back around because I know what Brian's talking about.
Yeah, we'll get it here in a let's see here.
So this is, and see, Sam, I was not
Pastor
lying.
found dead.
There you go.
It's rough.
Middlesboro, Kentucky.
In this small church in eastern Kentucky, Pastor Jamie Coots and his family are maintaining an over 100-year-old tradition, the handling of deadly snakes in the name of God.
I pastor Full Gospel Tabernacle in Jesus' Name Church in Middlesboro, Kentucky.
I've
been pastor since 1994. The church was built and founded. My grandpa built it. To me, it's as much a commandment from God when He said, "They shall take up serpents," as it was the Ten Commandments when He said, "Thou shalt not commit adultery."
Snake handlers belong to a subset of Pentecostalism, sometimes called the holiness faith. Followers like the Coots family believe that once they feel God's anointment overtaking them, they are protected from venomous snakes.
When you handle serpents, it's one of the best feelings I've ever felt in my life. He's
like the dead one right there.
A peace and a calm.
No kidding. Yeah.
A happiness. It's such a happiness and a joy. You can just feel the joy in your soul that you just don't feel all the time, every day.
So strong is Pastor Jamie's faith in God's protection, he won't seek medical attention if bitten.
Instead, he probably should have rethought that.
He prays.
Man.
I lost his finger to a serpent bite. The finger rotted, probably a quarter-inch of bone that was exposed.
Oh, God.
You look at that, dude.
That is disgusting.
Well, Linda ends up telling me that, she wants to keep it. I said, why? She said, well, I said, I'll always have a piece of you no matter where you go.
She had fond memories of that one.
That's been 14 years ago.
Dude.
Never saw for attention.
I couldn't help it, dude.
When I first started in church, I said if I ever went to a hospital or a doctor,
I couldn't
help it. It just happened.
It just happened.
Dude.
So,
I'm so confused.
Dude, it is confusing.
You thought I was lying, didn't you?
What do you think God said when he entered them golden gates to that fella?
He said, son, why?
You know what, man? I honestly think, so here's the way I think of God, man. And this is where I give my dad credit, man. My dad, even though he was a Pentecostal preacher, he was super cool. He taught me and my brother that, man, God's your dad. You can talk to him just like you talk to me. You can, it's not like, I honestly think that God probably was like, boy, you're one of the dumb ones, I think he probably did. He's like, hey, you had good faith.
Like, you know that's not what that meant in the scripture, right?
He's like, yeah. He's like, hey, you didn't decipher that so good, Jamie. Now look at you. It's kind of like it's kind of like that, like the guy that was stuck on the roof in the flood, and he said, "God, please, I know you can rescue me." And a boat came by, and the boat was like, "Hey, get in the boat." And he was like, "No, God's going to rescue me." And then another canoe or something came by, and he's like, "Hey, just jump in the canoe with me." And the guy was like, "No, God's going to rescue me." And then an helicopter came and tried to pick him up. And he said, "Here, get on, we're here to rescue you." And he said, "No, God's gonna save me from this." And then the guy drowned, man. He get flooded, and he got to heaven, and he was like, "God, what happened?" He said, "Well, man, I sent 2 boats in a helicopter." It's like, what am I supposed to do? So it's kind of the same thing, but that was only one. There's another pastor named Andrew Hamlin.
This is how this story started.
Yes, and Andrew Hamlin, dude, you should hear that, dude. He's in this little bitty. Here's how good at guitar he is. Ricky Skaggs showed up to watch him play at one of his services, and then realized there were snakes in the building, and they were like, "Oh, he was right. He was about to. Did he cut?"
I think he sat in the back.
Then he was like, "No." He's like,
"I'm okay back here,
by
brother."
the emergency exit.
Yeah, but no, this dude was just off the chain. Great musician, and just in a little Pentecostal church in the middle of nowhere, in Virginia or Kentucky, but. Wrapping this back around, some of the best musicians are found in little bitty churches.
Yeah, that's where that was.
And disclaimer, the Pentecostal churches we were raised in never once entertained the idea of handling snakes.
Yeah, no. I can't imagine, man, I can't understand how people can be so gullible to believe that kind of stuff. And now here's the other thing about that, man. That is, I don't know. It's kind of shifty when you're teaching other people to do that kind of stuff. Because then I got a questions like, God's like, hey man, you were teaching these people this, and that family, his son took over Cody. He almost died. He got bit in the head by a rattlesnake during the service. Yeah, and he was like, I'm fine.
I think
Take me to the hospital.
I think he was like, the younger generation was like, nah.
But his daughter,
the ER could.
Wayne is tough.
The daughter, which was Cody's sister, the one that played the piano all crazy, she died in a car wreck.
Oh, I did not know that.
Man.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
But I think Andrew Hamlin's still kicking.
Still rocking.
He's still over in Cromwell, Kentucky. I don't know where he's at. Somewhere Kentucky. Western Kentucky, somewhere.
You know what? I'm going to say.
Eastern Kentucky.
I'll say this, man. I really do think those people, though, are well-intentioned. I know that sounds crazy. No. I really do believe that's what they think is their worship to God. They're just misdirected. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there are very fine people there, and that I do believe they love the Lord.
Dude, you can't question their faith.
Oh, no.
They got some faith.
Yeah, man.
They got more than me, apparently.
Why did I start hearing George Michael in my head? But it's just nuts that anybody would think that's a good idea, man. I don't know. Because you watch and the funny thing is, dude, you watch like a snake handler, like a herpetologist or whatever.
Yeah.
And you watch how
big word for Brian.
Is that a real word? Herpetologist?
That's what a
you're looking at me because I believe you because you're looking at me with those eyes of like, man, dude, I'm serious.
Like, I can't believe you don't know what a herpetologist is.
I can't believe you do.
That's somebody who studies reptiles.
Herpetologist?
You need to watch Animal Planet, homie.
Herpetologist.
Herpetologist.
That would not have been my first guess.
HERP. Yeah, I know, right?
I saw something totally different as a herpetologist.
Hey, man. You talking about me with the little black finger thing.
Dude, that was rough.
That was rough a little bit.
Herpetologist, huh?
Yeah,
I'm going to check. I'm going to
anyway,
double check your work.
You watch how careful they are handling snakes.
Well, I'll be. You are correct, sir.
Yes, sir. And then in those churches, they grab them snakes with dude. Caution to the wind, bro. They don't. There's
blind faith.
They reach in, no hesitation, and grab them.
And then, man, do you see some of them like dancing on them and like stepping on them?
Dude, they're and we didn't even mention the fact, Sam, that they don't only do snakes. They drink arsenic.
Yeah.
Really?
They drink poison in the middle of this. So the verse says, like you can pick up deadly serpents or drink any deadly poison and you won't be harmed, right? So to me, that interpretation says, hey, if you're out preaching the gospel, right, like Paul was back in the day, and some crazy people are like, oh no, they're, you say you're some indigenous tribe or something is there, and they poison you or try to hurt you or whatever. And that's when God, I think, is saying you'll be protected from that stuff. And in fact, I have other stories where, remember, we heard that there was one story with, I think it was E.L. Terry, which was some crazy preacher. He preached over in Africa, and he was preaching, and he said, as he went, more and more people just started coming to like the altars. What he said to where eventually it was like, I don't know, thousands of people with this thing. And then these people came out of the woods, man, like out of the forest or the jungle. And they all came to the altar and they all gave their heart to the Lord, right? They all professed their faith in Jesus. And they asked this tribe, they were somebody who could speak. It was like, what made you come out and why'd you do that? And they said, because we poisoned him and watched him drink it all night while he was preaching and never did. And it never,
that's crazy.
It never affected him. No,
that's crazy.
Yeah. That's
powerful.
It's pretty crazy, right?
But I think that's probably the context of that.
Yes.
Man,
they actually drank arsenic?
They did, yeah, bro.
And they survived?
Sam, you got to watch Snake Salvation.
I guess I do.
Dude, I'm telling you.
It'll change your life. It'll change your life, man.
It'll change everything.
Hey, speaking of that, you know who died today?
Jimmy Swaggart.
At the time of this tape, yes.
Yeah.
Jimmy Swaggart. Do you remember that name, Jimmy Swaggart?
No.
He was a televangelist from the probably 80s. Well, I don't know.
I mean, he fell 80s. Before he was born.
Yeah, that's true. He was like the like some of the preachers now, like Joel Osteen or whoever the mega church guys are now. That was Jimmy Swaggart back in the day.
He was one of the first ones.
He was one of the first ones, and his cousins were Jerry Lee Lewis. Remember Jerry Lee Lewis? Yes. And you referenced him earlier. And Mickey Gilley, if you remember Mickey Gilley.
I don't know if I do.
He's an old country guy.
Yeah.
But they were all three cousins, and they were all amazing musicians. There again, man, it's that whole bloodline thing.
It is, man.
But
music. Isn't it crazy how music runs? You wouldn't think that would be something that would be, but it's like the I don't know, the ability to learn it. It seems to be has to be genetic, or I mean, it could just be the fact that they come up. If you have
you're around it. I think. Yeah. So did anybody in your family play or sing? No. So you're first generation.
So no musicians at all in your family.
But man, you look at so your parent. Well, no, Aunt Martha sings. So my mother played piano, and my grandfather played guitar and banjo. So man, you would have loved Poppy.
Poppy played strings.
I'll take that back. My dad can play harmonica to Candyman by Roy Orbison.
Okay, there's that.
That's it. That is my musical background genetics.
That's something.
That ain't bad.
That's something.
That ain't bad, man. So, man, let me ask you this: who are your kind of shifting gears? Who are your influences? Because, man, here's what I noticed about. So, first, here's what I noticed when we were playing around the other night with Jimmy. You were singing things, and you were singing in like this, like normal kind of high, medium register. But then I pulled up your music and I'm like, oh man, he's got this silky this silky kind of.
I like Suki.
Suki is a new one.
Suki.
He's got this silky herpetologist low. He's got this low voice, right? This low voice. So who's kind of like your influences, man? Like, what do you listen to besides Jimmy DeTalent?
That's about it, really.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
My playlist. I mean, it changes weekly. I will say growing up, I listened to a lot of classic rock because that's what my dad listened to a lot. AC/DC, Guns N' Roses. My mom, she always had K-Love on in the car, so I'd listen to a lot of Christian gospel. Third Day was a big band that I listened to growing up.
You are beautiful, my sweet soul.
Yeah, why you gotta make fun of his marbles in his mouth?
I'm not making fun of him. He's actually got a really good voice.
And
Mac Powell, I'm just joking. I'm sure you're watching.
I hear he's super legit and super cool.
No, he is.
Yeah.
He's that's from what I understand.
He's fairly talented. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, he's super talented. I think he's talented.
Yeah, he is.
I would say so. But I mean, I listen to literally anything. Just depends on the day. I mean, my favorite artist probably of all time would be Jason Aldean.
Yeah. Okay. Right on. You know what I'll say I appreciate about your music. And the funny thing is I love him. I love Morgan Wallen. I listen to Morgan Wallen all the time. But it's nice to hear a young artist that you can tell is not trying to mock and sound exactly like Morgan Wallen. Yeah. Because to be honest, I hear songs nowadays like this, and they're good, like Red Farron. You know who Red Farron is? Yeah. But the first 3 weeks I was listening, I thought it was Morgan Wallen. You know what I mean? And then there's a couple other words. It's almost like, man. So when I heard him, and I was like, oh man, he's got his own thing going on, man. Oh, and it almost, I told you, I was like, it's almost more kind of traditional, older, storytelling. You know, that's what I like. I love storytellers and their music. And so I felt like, I feel like your songs, you're kind of telling stories, you know, in the song.
He's got that Sam Hahn thing going on.
The Sam Hahn.
Yeah, I would say so.
Let me say the most annoying thing about
me?
About your name.
About me.
Is it takes Alexa 29 tries to stop playing Sam Hunt every time I say play Sam Hahn.
No, if people have asked me, they're like, I play a show. They're like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Sam Hahn." They say, "Sam Hunt." Like, you're not Sam Hunt. No, Sam Hahn, close, but no, that's not me, unfortunately.
Oh man. Well, I think you got it going on, man. I really have enjoyed listening to it so far. So I thought maybe you might have had some old. But I'm not surprised to hear that you've got some influences like you mentioned, kind of old dirty. We talk about it all the time. We love that old dirty Southern rock, man.
Oh,
you know?
Love Southern rock,
man. I love we probably bring them up every freaking episode, but I love Blackberry Smoke. You listen to them?
Yep.
They're fantastic.
No, well, so funny story. So we were going to play a show. Our first show as a band was supposed to be at the VFW up in Gibson County. And Logan, it was going to be his first show with us. He's like, guys, I can't. My mom got us tickets to see Blackberry Smoke. I'm like, you're going to have to cancel that so you can play at VFW with us. He said, no, I can't. So
where did he go see them at?
They were in Evansville.
Yeah, okay, we were there.
That was probably that show we went to a few months. This was a few months ago.
Yeah. Dude, we're old, and I think we both agree it's one of the best live shows.
I keep maintaining, man, they are the best live band I've seen. And I've seen a lot of bands.
Jelly was fantastic.
Yeah, he was. He put on such a good show.
I was so surprised. Hardy was awesome live too. Yeah. And I told you, I heard a lot bad, like saying, "Oh, he's not good live," and I was like, "Man,
Hardy,
he was fantastic." Yeah. And I heard him at I heard him at Talladega in Talladega every year. Yeah, dude, they got this. So we stayed in the infield last year and we camped, and it's crazy. I won't do it again. I'm too old. But it was but we still, if you go to Talladega, you can buy a ticket where that night of the concert and the rodeo, you can go in and watch that stuff,
included,
right? Yeah. And so we went in and man, there's probably, you're a Dega. There's thousands of people there, dude. Yeah. And you're just playing in this. They just put up a big stage in the middle, man, and he rocked that out. Yeah. And dude, it's hard to sound good outside.
I've never seen Hardy. That'd be one I'd like to see.
I saw him on my birthday this year in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena.
We're kind of fanboys.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think I honestly think, I don't know, man. I think Morgan's the most, out of that group that we always talk about, I think he's the most talented entertainer probably as far as just vocals, but I think Hardy's the one that, man, dude,
he's all around.
Him and Ernest are the other ones writing all that material, man. Not to say them other guys aren't pitching in on them songs that they're singing, but dude.
Yeah.
Have you seen Hardy's version of God's Country?
Yes.
He wrote it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Dude,
his acoustic version, just him singing that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Did he play it live in Vegas?
Yes, he did.
So he played it.
Just acoustically.
Yeah. He played it. He did in Dega too. Yeah.
I might be lying. No, I'm pretty sure it was just acoustically, but no,
that's cool.
He did. Did he do, the song he did with "Oh Girl"? What's
Lainey Wilson?
Yeah, did he do that?
Wait in the truck. Yes, he did.
With "Oh Girl."
Yeah, "Oh Girl," Lainey Wilson. Did he do it where? So at
she
Dega,
was on
the
screen.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you probably heard that. It was probably the same exact show.
Well, no, because he has a new album.
Yeah, right.
So
but
he
you
did
still
a lot
heard,
of those.
Did he do the hard rock song?
Well, he did a lot of them because this new.
I mean the old one though.
Which one?
I don't know.
One of them.
Yeah.
He did a lot of those that were heavier.
Yeah.
But the whole tour is called Jim Bob.
Jim Bob.
And that's, if you haven't heard
So that's
Jim
the
Bob,
current tour right now.
Yeah,
so that's the one
is.
you saw.
Yeah, I saw him on his second date of the tour.
So
that's
awesome. Because when we heard him, I think the album was You Can Call Me Jack or whatever it was.
Jack.
Yeah, was that what it is? Jack? Was
probably.
It just Jack?
Yeah, that was probably it. And then I saw him with Stephen Wilson Jr., another Indiana boy.
Yeah, Seymour, Indiana.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Not too far from here.
I'll say Hardy, one of his song, Give Heaven Some Hell.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about.
That song.
Oh, no, that wasn't the one I'm talking about, but I love that song.
I love that song. And that song means a lot to me. That song, my grandpa passed away probably it was in the middle of COVID. So about 4 years ago, whatever. And that song was really big at that time.
Yeah.
And that song, we would play that nonstop. And that was kind of the song that, it reminds me of my grandpa every time. And he was one of those guys. He would work hard, play hard, and go to church every Sunday. And so that song is just, I know he's giving God some hell up there. But,
that's the thing about music, man. It helps you get through so many hard times.
Man, it does so much. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like I said, I'm like Bert Kreischer, man, dude. I'll be at home by myself listening to music.
Yeah, take that shirt off.
Yeah, take the shirt off. Yeah. No, please don't.
We will have no viewers.
We'll mute that camera.
Yeah, mute the camera.
Mute it.
Just mute it. Mute that camera.
Just turn it all the way off.
No, but I can listen to music and man, I'll get them. Music has the power to move you. Man. It moves you. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there's a lot of songs that you're listening to at a certain point in your life, and whenever you hear that song now, it brings you back to that time.
So it does.
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. Yep. And a lot of times it's ugly. So
did you see the American Idol one where that kid
the teacher wrote the lyrics.
He wrote the lyrics.
Oh, he wrote the lyrics. I thought she had a poem that
her
inspired.
son died. Yeah, and her son died, and she said, "Will you write this
song?" I did
song?
see it. Yes.
And then Carrie Underwood, he broke it. Yeah. Well, he broke them all. They were all just.
Oh no, because Lionel Richie was kind of like his lip was quivering.
Yeah,
that was powerful. I didn't see that.
That was really good. That was a really good one, man. I don't watch those much anymore. Do you catch any of those anymore?
No, I'll see clips here and there.
The Voice kind of, to me, it went when they took all I think, even though it sucks because it was the mainstream part of it, whatever, but the good part of that show was Adam and
the bantering back and forth
between Adam and their buddies, I think.
Yeah.
Blake Shelton, but isn't his wife still on it? Isn't Gwen Stefani still in it?
I don't know.
I know she was a year or two after.
I watched it in a while.
Yeah. Well, man, what about let's take a break?
Yeah.
And for us, it'll be a few minutes, but for you at home,
it never happened.
It will be like it never happened. But don't forget, just real quick, while we're taking a break, you go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and drop a comment, and we'll be right back. Believed it.
That was absolutely believable.
Well, we are back, everybody, and I think we all feel a little better and kind of took a quick break.
We did.
I just barely missed it. Jimmy, you just asked Sam what he thought about that orange cream Ghost energy drink.
Not a sponsor yet.
Not a sponsor yet. I'm giving him 2 more episodes. But then Sam said his nickname was Orange Cream in high school.
And I believed it.
I believed it too. I was sold. I bought in 100% at first.
Well, I think we just started something, boys.
I think we did. That's not orange good. Cream.
Don't know if I like it.
Well, it's going to stick.
We've already lost our G rating and everything in this episode anyway, so it don't really matter.
Orange. The motto is just orange cream. It's going to stick.
I like it. Is. See, we just came up with that just now.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to know.
Oh, isn't it another first?
That's another. We have a lot of firsts on here, Sam.
Happens.
Do we go through the first, or have we exhausted that every time we get on here?
I don't know. The last time, what was it with Kevin? There was another first.
Man, I can't remember. There's been so many.
It's probably a lot of firsts.
But there's been first.
Yeah, there is.
For the first time, Sam saw Snake Salvation.
That's right.
Yes.
That was a first.
That was a first.
That was a first.
It won't be the last.
And for the first time, Sam has adopted his new nickname.
That's right.
Orange Cream.
Orange Cream. The Orange Cream.
The Orange Cream.
So here's what I want to know.
All natural.
What I love it. I think it's a great version of it. But what made you decide to be?
Do you like the way I just stepped all over your question?
To be called Orange Cream.
Oh no, I thought you were really going to say what made you decide to do Zombie. Because
no, not Zombie. It's Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Give me the story.
Okay.
Because you were not born yet, probably when that came out.
The funny thing is, so we were going to do an acoustic EP, and we are going to do my 3 originals, and then do a cover that stands out.
Okay.
And my producer, Sean Rogers, he was like, how about Breakfast at Tiffany's? So I've never heard that song in my life.
Okay.
So that's the story of that one. I listened to it. I was like, I've never heard this song, but I'm down to do it. So it turned out pretty awesome.
Dude, I love your version of it. So it was, it's a different take on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool. I think it's super cool, man.
I like it too.
So I wondered if you were inspired by it. So you never heard it.
Never.
It was a suggestion.
Getting ready for it, I'd probably listen to it about 25 times a day to try and get the lyrics down.
Sure.
I listen to it way too much.
There's another thing you don't never do.
You know what's funny? I play that song live and I still don't know the lyrics to it.
I don't think I've listened to the song since because I've listened to it so many times. No, but that was an awesome experience doing that EP session in a room with 2 very talented session musicians in Nashville.
Yeah, because I saw Chris Condon pop up on your video. Did not know that you were connected in any way because we did a few songs with Chris and Corey Lawson, and we recorded it at Chris's studio. Chris is a monster, man.
Insane.
He is. Did he play acoustic or did he play electric as well?
Acoustic. So it was all acoustic EP.
If you've not heard that dude play electric, you need to go look him up and watch some of his clips.
I mean, he traveled with Billy Ray.
Yeah, he was Billy Ray's band leader. He might still be. I'm not sure. I hadn't talked to Chris.
So I had Billy Ray's band leader on an acoustic EP. That's pretty cool.
You did, man.
That is pretty cool.
Did not deserve to be in that room.
So I'm the same way. I thought it was a weird choice, but you pulled it off really well. So what made you do Zombie, man? Was it a Cranberry song or something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I played at the Posey County Fair, an acoustic session, probably in 2023.
Okay.
I opened for Kenna Elpers. She's from down here. She lives in.
We know who Kenna.
Oh, no, Kenna's. We played shows with Kenna.
She's got some pipes on her.
Yep.
And she closed with that song at the fair, and I'm like, holy cow, that was freaking awesome. I need to learn that song. So I dropped it about 25 keys. and so we just started playing it, and now we close with it every show. And I love playing that song. It gets the crowd going.
There again, another great version. So then I'll go one further. What made you do Hurricane by Band of Heathens?
I don't even know how that ended up entering. I played it acoustically for a long time. I don't know where it started or where it came from. And then once we got Logan on the keys and doing the harmonies, it just took it to a whole nother level. So that's one of my favorite songs. I mean, we played the Old National Center in Indianapolis, open for Jay Webb, and we had 30 minutes, so we played 6 songs, and Hurricane and Zombie were on there, and played On the Record, played Gone Girl, and then Come Together, our mix on the Beatles song. So I guess it was 6 songs.
So how was that crowd?
It was awesome. That was the most fun I've ever had on stage.
And that was we used to be called the Egyptian Room, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Kevin played guitar for us.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to play, and I just kind of was able to run around on stage and entertain.
How do you do it? Do you like that?
I love it.
Because a lot of guitar players just feel naked, feel weird without their guitar.
I did it first, but I wouldn't consider myself a guitar player. So it was weird at first, but that's the most comfortable I've ever been on stage.
Really?
So.
See, to this day, after all these years, man, even when I just come up and do a song with you playing around or whatever, I feel so weird without a guitar in front of me. You know what I mean? It's like I just feel so exposed, you know what I mean?
It's definitely.
I guess I need to learn how to dance.
I will say this, Sam. I think your show the other day, watching you when your string broke. You didn't have a choice. Shout out to Kevin for replacing the string. That's what he does.
Not trying
Mr.
to.
Guitar
He
Tech.
tried.
It was not in tune, but
I don't
go ahead.
So you without that guitar was that was a good energy, man. I think you should do that more. I think you should put down the guitar and do what you do.
I agree. I would love to do that more.
Yeah,
I just feel more comfortable. I'm a very high energy fella.
Yeah, you are.
So I got to get that energy out somehow.
Yeah. Put the guitar down and get it out, doing your thing.
Yeah.
Run around.
Do some jumping jacks.
I think so. Backflips.
I'm excited for whenever we finally, I've we just met last week. And then, so I haven't had opportunity to see you guys live. I've heard, like I said, I've been blowing you up on Spotify, but I'm excited. I can't wait to get out till we get an opportunity.
Well, good news. He's got plenty of shows coming up.
Where are some of
those shows?
Yeah, we got some shows coming up, and
you don't know where they are, do you?
Not exactly. It's hard to keep track of that stuff.
It is.
Got a lot going on, but I'm already looking towards next year more than anything. I've kind of
let me interject this though.
Yeah, go.
Just real quick. So I've already showed it a couple times. If you want to know Sam's schedule and where the band's going to be playing, you can go to his website, samhahnmusic.com, and click on the hamburger up on the right side, the little line, the menus, and go to shows, and you can see your schedule where you guys are going to be.
And that's up to date, right?
Yes.
Don't go to DeTalented.com because that is not updated.
It would have been if you'd have just let me keep
what kind of content is on that website?
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't even know.
I killed it the other day, I think.
No, you didn't.
The website?
Oh, I killed the one I had.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think you did. No, that was a while. I think we're good.
I thought I had the domain still, though.
No, you don't.
So, my sister, she's the one that designed and did the whole website. She's extremely talented in that, and she does a lot of my videography, photos. She's done all my lyric videos, so you can get on YouTube and find those. And I would not be where I'm at without the help from her.
Yeah.
And hopefully one day I can financially pay her back in the way she deserves. I still pay her, but not what she deserves. So, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to Emily Hahn.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Emily Hahn.
And that's some of the best pay you can give, man. I know money's nice, but everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Man,
that's why I told her, I was like, this will get you somewhere.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
We feel it. We're only 15 episodes in, man, and we're growing. But it's
it's a process.
There's a process. You got to stick with it and keep going, and eventually that'll come.
And I've looked at that and this music thing for me. I mean, I've only been in it 4 years, but for me, it's like, a year or so ago, you're thinking like, man, I have gotten absolutely nowhere. I should quit. This is a waste of my time. And, then you get to play some shows at like the old National Center. You're like, whoa, like maybe I can do this. And then you play another show and you're like, doubt starts creeping in, and doubt is dangerous. And that doubt is dangerous.
Yeah. Wow, that's good, Sam.
I know.
Man, look at this. It's like he writes lyrics or something.
Here's what you got to remember, man, is everything is about people.
Yeah.
Right.
It's about connecting with people.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'll go here. I'll redeem myself from the thing a while ago. A wise man told me once that you remember the story where Jesus told him, go look in the fish's mouth, and they found the money, the coin. Well, he said the money will always be in the fish. So don't worry about the money. Worry about the fish. Worry about the people, man. The more you connect with people, and the more you do that success, will come. And I think you're going to find success anyway, man. I mean, and to be honest, we talked about this a little bit with Brian Mullins from the Colts. You know who the Cold Stairs is?
The what?
Okay, we need to have another conversation.
Oh man, the Cold Stairs.
Cold Stairs.
But we talked to him a little bit about it.
Playlist.
Yeah,
and I thought you said the Colts.
The Cold Stairs.
Okay, I've not heard of them.
No. They're
okay.
Oh, dude, they're good.
I will.
But he said something. It was because of a question you asked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let's see. Ask Sam the same question. Let's see what he says.
Okay, so then I asked Brian if you had a choice to. So Brian and Chris Tapp, and now they added a bass player, but they've been grinding it out for several years, and they're from Evansville. They don't play any Evansville shows anymore. They actually spend a lot of time in Europe touring, and they're very successful over there. And it was just a steady growth steady build up of where they are today from, them starting out here, and they stuck to their guns and just did original music, and it just kept growing and growing. So my question to him was, if you had the chance to throw something up on TikTok and become viral, and within a couple weeks, it just changed your world upside down and you're running and gunning, or would you choose that slow growth of the years of building? What would you choose? Organically. And he said that well, you know what? You answer. What would you do, Sam?
At first, when I first got into music, I would immediately say I want to go viral immediately.
Yeah.
But now that I would say I'm this deep in. I mean, it's been 3.5, 4 years, whatever. And
you're invested.
I'm invested at this point. And it's like, I would not change the route I'm taking. I've met so many incredibly awesome people. I met so many talented and smart and fun individuals that have pushed me. And I wouldn't have the relationships that I have. And I wouldn't have been able to reach the people that I have if I just went viral. I think that I would have taken it for granted.
Yeah.
If I didn't work for it.
If you just blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing Brian said.
He did that. And that's refreshing to hear, because it would be so tempting to say, oh yeah, give me that instant. Instant success.
And I wouldn't have the guys in my band. I know for sure. If I went viral, I wouldn't probably be on this podcast right now and talking and meeting with you guys and know you guys and have an actual relationship with you guys. So it's, I'm all about having a strong foundation. And from the start, my family and my close friends have been that strong foundation for me. So, I feel like my foundation is still growing, and I don't think I've gotten past the foundation stage. I think the stronger foundation you have, the better you're going to be and more successful you'll be, and the more fun you'll have at doing it. So I wouldn't change a thing.
What an old soul.
He is an old soul.
What a great answer.
Even brought up that a house without a strong foundation.
You are wise beyond your years. You
are wise beyond your years.
And
it's a good answer, man.
I will say this, man, in the 30 plus years I've been doing music, which is crazy to say, I don't regret anything I've ever done. Man, I have some of my closest friends are people that I've played music with, or in some form or fashion. You just create these bonds with people, and not only just playing, but being able to travel and just meeting people. That's what was always so refreshing to me. Just getting the opportunity to travel in that setting, and then just meet new people. It's a testimony. People are good. And you find quality people around, not just your little bubble, not just your little area, but when you actually get out and you start moving in and traveling to different places and connecting with people, man, it's, I don't know. That was always the one thing that I'll always take with me is I don't regret any of the things I ever did in music, because the experiences you can't take money with you, but those experiences I'll have with me forever.
Remember, we started this whole episode off kind of talking about that, and so you just re-alluded to to it even more, was that music in the at its core always ends up relational, right? So it is, man. It just brings people together, and whether look, you're best friends with Kip Winger.
That's right.
Best friends with Chris Stapleton.
That's right.
Look at all the people you've
bowling partners with Keith. Keith Urban and I we're on a bowling team together for a while. It was only for an afternoon, but we still bowled together. You can't take that away from me.
Have you heard that story? You probably did. If you was that on the Kevin Menace episode?
I don't know. I've probably told that story.
That was on Chief Billy Boland's episode.
Okay, yeah, I've told that story a lot.
Who won?
Well, I don't want to brag.
Did you win?
No, there was no winning. This was all done for cameras. I don't even,
Yeah.
They put you on the same camera as Keith Urban.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's cool. But the thing
they wanted somebody to ruin the shot.
But if you didn't know,
make him look better.
Yeah. But if you didn't know, if you didn't know Jimmy like I do, or someone else, you wouldn't even know it's him, because there was no beard. He looked like a heroin addict. He weighed about 112 pounds.
It was pre-beard. It was pre-dad bod.
Pre-weight gain.
So I prefer to say dad bod. I've got a lot invested in this.
Oh yeah, man.
You have a good foundation in your belly.
Look at you bringing it back around. Now, it was an era where I was playing rock music. It was the probably early 2000s, and I was in a rock band. So, yeah, I was just a youngin' back then, and
you're still a youngin'.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Sam, but I'm.
Where's the camera so I can wink real quick?
Yeah. Dumbest thing I ever heard you say was back then when you were like, dude, I need to look like a heroin addict. That's what you said.
I think I did say that.
You did. You were like, man, that's what.
Yeah, you had to be,
because you think about it, man. With them, that's when I don't know who was the. I couldn't even tell you then. We were young adults then. Yeah. We were probably younger than him.
Yeah,
right
we
now.
were. Yeah. And for the record, I've never done heroin.
No. Just
looked like it.
Yeah.
But back then, man, I was
just
probably
looked like it.
I got down to maybe $1.50.
Okay.
Something like that. My body was not meant to be $1.50.
I thought you weigh $1.50 now. Oh, that's $2.50.
$2.50. Inflation, baby.
Oh man, inflation's going down though. Jimmy's been doing well, or have you been doing well?
I've been eating well. I mean, that's what it is.
You have been eating good.
Yeah.
So you're back.
No, good, like good.
Oh,
as far
like
as I
okay.
eat whatever I want.
Okay.
You know, it's the seafood diet.
It is. Yeah,
seafood.
I was on the same page.
Well, but a couple of weeks ago, he was actually eating good.
That lasted about 2 weeks.
Tell you what the
See, here's the
better
thing.
Than one.
I fall off the wagon real quick, man. You don't have to tempt me too much with food. It's hard for me to turn down food. So Sam, you said that you're looking ahead to next year. What is 2026 bringing you? Do you have plans? What is your plan for 2026?
We have goals.
Okay.
We don't have exact plans for those goals yet.
Okay.
We're working through those plans.
Okay. Can you give us some goals? Give us however many goals you have.
So we got some goals to play a little more regional shows.
Okay.
Kind of get more of a 2.5 hour radius, more
extending the circle.
St. Louis, Nashville, Louisville.
Okay.
Bigger cities like that. Florida.
he went from cities to I'm just going to go for
the whole state of Florida.
Go to the beach. Anywhere in Florida is fine with me. Yeah. I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, I'm just kind of taking it as it comes, and wherever the Lord leads me, and I'm going to keep pushing myself, and the guys in the band are pushing themselves, and we're working hard together, and wherever it takes us, that's where we're meant to be. So hopefully that's Florida.
I hear
you hit him with like
I hear that.
You hit him with like a job interview question.
I did, didn't I?
Sam, what's your 5-year plan?
Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Yeah, no, but whatever it is, as long as I'm, we talked about it earlier. Is I have. There's like life goals and there's like career goals.
Mm-hmm.
And life goals for me is whenever I get on that stage, whenever I'm doing music or meeting people, as long as I can impact their lives in some way, maybe forget about whatever's going on in the world, block all that out, and just lead them to the Lord. So those are the two things for me that, every time I get on that stage, I just want to give people a night that, they're in that moment. And that's all that matters at that time. So.
Yeah. Well, most of the time when, when people are going out to listen to music, especially the ones that are actually going to listen to music.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, it's an escape.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of, from the day or the week or whatever.
You just want to forget everything about your life and what's going on in it for a while.
And it's
life's hard, man.
It's dangerous because there's all these Thursday night concerts and the beer tastes really good. And then you have to get up for work on Friday.
Well, that's
you've given that up my life.
Let me ask you this, Sam. So you're talking a lot about your live shows. What happens with your original music and recording and writing? Are those plans too? Are you going to release?
Those are definitely plans and goals. I really want to work on writing what sounds like Sam Hahn. Mm-hmm. What is Sam Hahn? I think for these past couple months, myself and the guys in the band, we've all kind of been focusing on that a lot. We got a stretch of shows for about 4 weeks, and then we all talked. We're like, our goals after that is to focus on new music, and I'm going to focus on trying to get us shows for next year.
And I'll say this, man, from like more of a, like I said, kind of like an attender of these music events, is I know you have to play covers. You have to, because that's what people are going. They want to hear songs, but man, don't always mix your original content in there. You know what I mean? Mix it in there. Let them hear it. that's one thing that you try to do. I know you do.
Sadly, I just got convicted.
Convicted.
I've gotten away from that. And I shouldn't have, because I started off, that was all I ever wanted to do was play originals. And I stuck to those guns for years. All I did was play originals in original bands. We traveled 15 hours one way to play an original set of 45 minutes and lose money. And then I got old and I was like, wait a second, I can stay around home and actually make some money and play some covers. And then as the time went on, I just kept playing originals less and less. But I've got some people pecking on me. It's like, man, you need to play some originals. And
well, if Laura's there, she's always going to request some original.
Well, I've been to 2 of Jimmy's shows. And I don't think I've ever heard an original.
I'm sorry.
Really?
Actually, that's probably better that you don't. They're not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. They're good. Have you listened to Jimmy DeTalented on Spotify?
No.
There's some originals on that.
Yeah.
Sam. Shame on
I've listened to Sam Hahn on Spotify.
Me too.
I didn't know he was on Spotify, so I will on the way home.
That's you know what? That's my fault. I'm going to blame me.
Yes, it is your fault
because
you don't market it, advertise it.
He doesn't market anything.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not my fault.
It's not. You're right.
I suck at that. And by the way, the website is still up.
Is it?
I will say marketing and that is just, I'm not very good at that at all. I'm not very good at bragging on myself. And I realized in this industry, you've got to be comfortable in doing that.
Yeah.
In a way that is still humble.
Yeah.
Because that's what people connect to, but you got to be able to talk about yourself.
I think you need to stop thinking about it as bragging on yourself. You're not really bragging on yourself, man, but you've got to self-market.
Yeah.
And bro, if you don't believe in you, nobody else is going to.
They'll see that. Yeah,
right.
They won't. So, no, it's tough. I've gotten better at it. I don't like social media at all.
Yeah.
I probably would never post on social media if it wasn't for music.
That's my problem too, man. I'm not a big social media guy. I'm terrible at all of that. I just want to play music.
I know.
Dude, he just shows up to everything. That's Jimmy. Basically. What do you do in life? I show up, right?
Yeah,
but you can count on him to show up.
He misses sound check.
He's gonna show up. That's the thing about him. Like dude's gonna show up, man. He's gonna do what he's got to do.
Yeah, Kevin was freaking out last weekend that you were not gonna show up. He said, you're going to have to play guitar. I said, we'll get Logan or Caleb to do that for you. Buddy.
There was no reason to panic. I was going to be there. Like Cat Williams says, they know I'm going to be there. I know I'm going to be there. Have you seen that meme with Cat Williams?
I haven't.
No.
Yeah. Well, you guys need to get out more. You need to look on.
But I'll tell you this. I know I don't like my Facebook for years was, I'm a troll. I'm gonna get on there and look at stuff, but I don't post anything. I have to.
I'm just not good about like showing people what I had for dinner.
Right.
I don't think they care.
Yeah, me either. I hate those. But I do now.
You do show people what you have for dinner?
Sure.
Yeah, that's how you got to build a brand.
No, but for the podcast, I mean, obviously I have to do a lot of social media, man. Yeah. I'm constantly every day, multiple times a day, like what short should I post? What clip should I post? What order should I put these out in the week? It's hard and timing and everything. You got social media is its entire own
algorithm and figuring out when to post.
We got one TikTok that's got 75,000 views, and then we have some that's got 80.
Yeah,
it's like how does that
work?
It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
And social media with the whole artistry thing is changed completely. I mean, you're not just selling your music. You got to sell like the brand. Mm-hmm. So like you have to sell your lifestyle. Like you got to show what you're eating for dinner, and people got to connect with every little thing you're doing every day. And I just am not good at doing that at all.
And not only that, listen to this. Let me tell you, the hardest guests to have I found on podcasts are musical guests, because you don't know how bad I want to pull your Spotify up or your YouTube and show people. But even though you're sitting here, they'll copyright strike us if we do, because your music's copyrighted. And it's so hard because I wish we could show, I wish we could play. You can play 7 seconds.
How do some podcasts get past that though?
Well,
money.
That's what it is,
they have the money and they have their guests scheduled out, and they go through the process of this is a license. This is, we're not there yet.
So getting there.
I would love to throw Sam an acoustic guitar right now and play.
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
It'd be great. Now,
I'd probably break a string.
I would definitely break a string.
We just take a break and call Kevin.
Yeah, he'd come down and change it up.
I think the band and I have probably played 12, 13-ish shows together.
Okay.
And I've broken a string in every show but one.
That's I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. You're not
Jimmy breaks strings at every show, dude. That just happens.
It just happens, man.
If you're not breaking strings, you're not into it enough.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Saturday night, Kevin broke strings too. I think we collectively Saturday night, I think we broke about 6 or 7 strings between us.
That's impressive.
Well, I don't know.
How long were you playing?
We played 4 hours.
That was just at the. That didn't include the Mustang.
No, that was Saturday night. We played the
brass ring.
The brass ring Saturday night, but I don't think I broke a string earlier in the day at the Mustang.
I want to know.
They played 3 shows that day.
Yeah, I want to know how many out of the 6 were yours.
5.
No.
Yeah, that's what
probably 3. I think Kevin broke
50-50.
Y'all went splitsies.
Yeah, we did. I think Kevin broke 3 strings, which is unusual for him.
That is unusual.
Yeah.
Did he have a standby guitar ready?
Yeah, he had 2. He broke strings on 2 guitars.
We need Menace strings.
I know, right?
He should get some strings.
Menace strings.
Menace strings. Remember that.
Indestructible.
You know, they got these new guitars with silicone strings on them. Have you seen them?
No.
They're crazy. Well, they're pretty much digital, right? You don't change strings. And you can make, they got the dude that was, of course, the commercial is going to be great, but the dude that I seen playing it on the video, social media or whatever, he made it sound like a, Eddie Van Halen, but it obviously, I mean, you can make it sound like a piano. It's like a synthesizer, but it's like a guitar, and there's several electric guitar sounds you can use. It's almost like one of the, remember that Line 6 rig I used to play through my iPad where you could change all the sounds and pull up different like song styles. You could put like Black Hole Sun was, I don't know why, I just remember that one. They get that sound out of it or whatever.
So they've taken that idea and
it's like
really expanded it.
Yeah, it's just
a lot of electric players play like through Helix systems or Head Rush, like pedal boards that have patches that sound this amp, this speaker, this microphone mic'd up to this speaker cabinet and every effect that you can imagine.
Yeah, it's down to, I mean, like I said, down to you could pick song styles on that thing.
Yeah.
Like, you could pick
that was all
Foxy Lady from Jimi Hendrix and the guitar. And the sounds were all like, Line 6 is, I think they're pretty, that they were early in on that. That was the only one that was available at that time. That little device was like this big. It wasn't anything. You plug it into your guitar and then you got the app was free if you bought the $100 thing.
They had a Line 6 pod is what was the first thing. Is that what you had?
Think
Did
that's
you
what
have
I
a
had.
pod? Probably.
I think it was. Yeah.
I actually years ago recorded not all the guitar parts, but a lot of guitar parts with a Line 6 pod.
And it just went in between your guitar and your amp. And
you didn't even, it was a direct out. You could use it without an amp. And that's what they do now with these pedals. It's straight into just the system.
I don't remember what I was. Maybe I wasn't running through an amp then. Maybe I was.
You might have went just direct with like to a DI box out.
Well, I was definitely ran to my Boss tuner pedal because you can't play anything without that.
Well, now they've got tuner pedals on these pedal.
Yeah, now you don't even have to. Yeah,
but see, I'm just an old school. I don't play electric that much anymore. But I still.
Can I tell you when I seen you with a snark on your guitar, I wanted to slap your face.
That's convenience.
Oh, I know, but I just think they look so. Take it off when you're not using it.
Well, I turned it around. You can't see the little circle sticking out. I've got it behind the headstock.
It still looks like a submarine periscope sticking off the end of your guitar.
I stopped playing pedals. You know what? That's what's funny. I keep just paring down. I don't even take a pedal board out anymore.
You don't even take anything anymore. Kevin just says like Kevin got tired of carrying. Jimmy's speakers were heavy, so Kevin got some ones that since he was the one always got stuck. Here's what happened, man. So Mikey, did you say you haven't met Mikey, right? So Mikey is Jimmy's middle son, or my nephew. Mikey got married a year ago.
Congratulations, Mikey.
Congratulations, Mikey, you idiot. So anyway,
you'll know why once you meet Mikey.
Yeah, once you meet Mikey, you'll be like, oh, I get it. But he was the roadie, dude. Before we could even get up out of our seats, he's just
done.
More energy than anybody.
He was tearing everything down.
He just had it loaded up. Well, he got married, so they don't come to all the shows anymore. Yeah. So now Jimmy goes out and congregates with the common folk.
Yeah.
While Kevin loads everything up.
Hey, listen.
I saw that firsthand twice. So.
we talk about connection. We were talking about how music is connecting, and you got to talk to people to connect with them.
No, I mean, so when we played at Old National Center in Indy, I ran off stage when we were done with the last song, and I immediately went down to my parents because I knew they had to leave soon. So I was just saying goodbye to them and thanks for coming. Love y'all, all that good stuff. And I had some friends there, so I was saying bye to them. So I was trying to make it quick so I could go help get done with stuff. And people just kept coming up and asking for pictures and autographs. And it's like, I've never done anything like this before. Like, this is kind of wild. And it was so cool just talking to people. Like, where are you from?
Yeah.
Just get to know people. And I look back and all the stuff's off the stage. I'm like, sorry guys, I was just meeting people,
and they're not going to let you forget that.
No, they won't. But they're understanding as well. They know that stuff has to happen. So
yeah,
Kevin don't complain.
He doesn't.
He does.
He's a good guy. He don't complain to Jimmy.
He doesn't us. Yeah. No, he complains to me.
Yeah, he does complain to you. I have heard him complain to you. That's true. You know what though? He does. He's.
Hey,
Kevin's a sweet guy.
We're not talking good about Kevin
Kevin,
anymore.
sorry, I forgot. I wasn't allowed to talk good about you.
About that anymore.
I know. Well, sorry. But man, Sam brought him up.
He did.
Oh, no. That was a lie. I brought him up.
You did.
I did. Sorry,
I didn't bring him up.
Sam, I tried Chuck under the bus there.
It's all right. It's all right. Kevin 2.0 podcast going on right here.
You know, I got to bring up something that's completely unrelated.
Please
we got a first time hat.
I told you,
on
man.
The podcast.
Yeah. Lakeview.
Is that the truck stop?
No, this is the band. Have you ever heard of Lakeview?
Yes. I've heard.
So have you listened to Lakeview on Spotify?
I've heard one of their songs.
But not your boy, Jimmy DeTalent. That's cool.
I haven't, but I've heard of Lakeview. I've heard of Lakeview Truck Stop.
Oh, dude, no. Lakeview is a band. I opened up for them a few years ago at a place that shall remain nameless here. Here in Evansville locally. They got in some trouble earlier this year. But anyway, it was that establishment that I opened up for these gentlemen. And the next time they came through, they were playing the Ford Center. And old Jimbo was not. But anyway, I got this hat at that show. And if you have not heard Lakeview, so you've heard one song. Yeah. They're really good, man. They
rock.
They mix country and I'm old, so I'll say hard rock, for lack of any other better term.
Man, okay,
a lot
so
of
that's
really
not who I was thinking
really
of.
guitar driven. It's almost, man, they sound a lot like Hardy's rock stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically enough, the singer, I think it's Jesse. He sounds a lot like Hardy, not intentionally, because they've been around for a few years too, and he kind of looks like him. Funny enough, but they're great. I mean, they came in and they put on a rock show. They are great.
You made me want some Frosted Flakes now.
And I was like, hey guys, here's a card if you ever want an old guy to open up for you at any shows. And I can almost guarantee you that card did not make it out of the venue. Hey, thanks, man. We'll keep this.
He's going to get a call tomorrow.
Where was that trash can?
We're playing up in Indianapolis, outdoor clips.
No, they were actually on tour with Daughtry and Stained and maybe Breaking Benjamin. I said, the next time they played in Evansville, literally it was at the Ford Center. So yeah, that's what this hat is, Brian. Are you looking them up right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the songs because now that you say it, I feel like that I had heard them, but I don't know. These aren't this is not the song that I was thinking of. Isn't listed here, so yeah, I'm gonna check them out though. They look like somebody that I would like.
Yeah,
so
cool guys
check
too.
them out. But there still is a truck stop called Lakeview in this area, so it could have doubled. Wasn't that around here? So are you not familiar with Lakeview?
No, I'm familiar with the Lakeview Inn in Chandler.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, good food there.
I've been to a lake with a view.
I've been to a few lakes with a view.
Yeah, I've been to lakes without a view.
Let me ask you this. That brings this up. What do you do besides music? Like what do you got hobbies, man? You golfer, a hunter, fish, you like fishing? What do you do?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Love to hunt, love to fish. I haven't golfed yet this year. Golfed quite a bit last year. I do enjoy it. Like going out drinking beer with the boys and playing some golf.
Okay.
All my buddies grew up playing high school golf and junior golf, and so they're all talented. So I just kind of go out there and supply the beer and give them a good read on the green. That's about it. But no, so I grew up playing sports. I'd never got into music or choir or anything. Always thought that was weird, to be honest. And
you a baseball player?
I played baseball, soccer.
You look like a baseball player.
Basketball, a little bit of everything except football, because look at me.
Where'd you play? Did you play for your high school?
So I played, so I did track, tennis, and soccer in high school. I quit baseball going into high school to focus. So going into high school, actually, I played travel soccer my whole life, and I just kind of got wore out on it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm going to try something new going into high school. So I tried tennis, first time I ever played, and had a blast with that. And then going into senior year, I was like, I need to pick up soccer again. That was like my first love. So I picked it up, played my senior year. And
so did you go to North? Is that where you went?
Yeah,
North High School in Evansville, Indiana?
Yep. And then, so I love playing sports, hunting. So once I quit sports in high school, really, at first I was going to quit everything. And I was like, I just want to hunt. I just want to hunt and do that stuff. So my dad and I did a lot of hunting together in, say, middle school, junior high, high school. So we bonded over that a lot and some of the greatest times. And we both shot our first deer on the same night. So
that's awesome.
That's cool.
So a lot of good memories with that, and love to go fishing. Parents have a lake at the farm, so fish there. And
don't tell Brian that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, my new friend. No, no.
Undisclosed location.
Bass fishing's my.
Yeah.
Dude, there's nothing.
Are you going to show Sam that picture? Your pride and joy.
Want me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we just restocked the lake last summer, I guess.
So, what's the biggest bass you've pulled out of there?
That's a great question. 5,
6.
So when they were restocking it, they were doing the thing where they zap the fish to see how much is in there. I think the biggest one was about 5.5. Okay. But I think there's some bigger ones in there now since we took out some of the smaller ones, put in some more bluegill, give some more bait fish, grew up the smaller ones so they could grow. A lot of just good eating bass in there.
So you'll pull them out and have fish fries? Or?
We did, yeah. Depends what Dad lets us do.
There you go. Take a look at that, Sam.
That's a hog. There's 2 hogs.
Yeah, that's 2 hogs, ain't it? That I'm gonna put it on it. So I think I weighed him on a scale that I honestly think was faulty because that weighed like 7 pounds, 7.5 pounds. But dude, everybody I've showed and from everything I felt, I don't know, because as soon as I say this, all the haters are going to be like, oh, sure. But I don't know. I think it was closer to 8 or 9. I mean, dude, look at that fish, man. She was
Let's
huge.
ask the viewers, how big is that fish?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I am 6'3" and I weigh 235 pounds, I would say.
Okay.
On a good day?
On a good day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. On a good day.
Yeah.
Because I did that the other day. You know, I weighed my bathroom the other day because we got this new dog that showed up at the house. And so we've got this new husky and we're trying to figure her out. And so I was like, well, what I'll do is I'll weigh her. I'll weigh myself, then I'll hold her and then I'll weigh again. And then in the bathroom where I always weigh, I was 235. I was like, all right, cool. That's what I'm supposed to weigh. And then she was like, well, come do it in here so we can. And I went in there and we had like 242. I was like, what kind of crap is it? I'm not weighing in this kitchen no more.
I was going to say, don't weigh in the kitchen anymore.
Man. So anyway, but dude, that fish, I don't know. Regardless, that's my PB, man. She was a big girl.
Was that caught in southern Indiana?
That was caught.
Let me tell you
offline, and I'll tell you where.
I don't know. I just wanted a region.
It is. It's Southern Indiana.
Yeah, I didn't need to know the location.
He'll tell you that. He'll tell you the location.
No. I'll tell you the location.
I think I know.
I want everybody to catch big fish, man. But just not in my holes. But I like you. You can. Yeah. I'll let you fish in my holes.
Thank you.
I'll take you on the bass boat. We can go.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's fun. I love it, dude. We're getting ready to go to Kentucky Lake.
Yeah.
I think, and we're going to take the boat down there. And so Jimmy's wife is she doesn't get to go as much as me, but she's ate up with fishing if she gets the chance, man. She loves it.
She does. And it's one more cast.
She's the worst. She's the worst one more cast person that
because we're all packed up.
We're all ready to go. And we're like, come on. And she's like, one more. We have to like go over there and like, come on, we are leaving. You know, it's 3 a.m.
Have you ever caught a fish on an inflatable unicorn?
I have none, but that sounds fun.
That is a rush.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
My buddies and I, about 3 years ago, we were drunk one night and we decided we were going to start a fishing tournament, but you have to be on an inflatable float in the middle of the lake. So what we would do is we would do it in like 2 sections. So the first one's like 30 minutes. Second one's like 20 minutes. To start it, you would have your floaty by the pool. There were like 10, 15 of us. You have to shotgun a beer, run to your floaty, and then grab your pole, and you're floating out there trying to catch fish. And taking a fish off the hook on an inflatable unicorn is not easy. And it is so much fun. We do it every year now, and it's just an absolute blast. It's just a bunch of young adults on unicorn floaties fishing and drinking beer and having a good time.
What's funny is there's
Sam invented a new sport. I think.
Well, we call it the floaty fishy tournament. We have a trophy which got our names on it.
Nice.
No, that is nice.
We put the winning worm or whatever you use on it. So it's it's a cool little thing.
You need to watch. So there's a YouTube channel called Fishing with Norm. And there's one called AO Fishing, and there's one called Fishing with. They do that kind of stuff all the time, man. They'll go to Home Depot and be like, all right, everybody's got $200. You got to build something that floats, and you got to catch fish off of it. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Or they'll do they've done floaties or whatever, and it's so fun. It's so goofy because it's stupid. It's not.
No,
I mean, you're doing it for fun, but these guys are doing it because they get millions of views on it, right?
Yeah. Sam, that might be your thing.
Yeah, dude. There you go. Post it up, bro.
You'll catch it on YouTube. Yeah. We're doing it in August this year, so we might get some content.
So what you do, man, is take you a little karaoke box out there,
and
fish and sing on the floaties all at the same time.
That would be something.
And if you fall in, you're disqualified.
And you lose all your equipment.
Yeah, there goes the karaoke. I would suggest buying a cheap karaoke box. That's awesome. That does sound fun. That kind of stuff always is fun, man, to do that. Well, I know we brought this up before. I don't know why, but me and Jimmy were the ones that would. So when we grew up, our uncle had this little pond. It was an acre. It was a 1 acre pond.
Yep.
But it had huge catfish in it, like big ones. I caught a 16-pound white catfish out of there.
Albino.
Yeah, he was big. Or it was a she probably. But anyway, our uncles would jug fish. So they would throw 2 liters out, and they would do it on the 4th of July, which is where our family reunion was every year.
Yeah.
And so me and Jimmy would swim out there and get how many times we did? We did a few times. I don't know, but everybody else was scared to do it. And we'd be like, we got it. And then we get out there and we'd be like, dude, this is probably a bad idea.
I don't like this anymore.
Yeah. We got to look tough now. We can't act like we're scared.
Yeah.
We be pulling them friggin' big old catfish in and pulling against you, trying to keep them off your legs. You don't want to get, ain't nothing like a good old catfish poke. You ever been poked by a catfish?
No, I don't like catfish because of that. I will be totally honest and open about that. I'm not a fan of catfishing.
I don't like catfish, not because of that though. I don't care about that. Just because
you
got to be careful. I hate because they're so freaking slimy.
They're dirty. They're impossible to handle.
If you catch a catfish, your entire line will just be covered in slime, man. It's just gross.
I like to bass fish, and if I catch a catfish, it ruins my day.
Yeah.
If I catch a catfish, it's okay, but yeah, I don't. And I don't know if I'm just lucky or what. I hardly ever catch others. I always just catch bass. Yeah. Like I'll be fishing with people and they're like pulling bluegill out, fishing with like the same stuff a lot of times, and everybody will catch like, oh, look, it's a bluegill. Since I've really fished serious, I don't think I've accidentally caught a bluegill. I've accidentally caught a couple catfish. I caught that carp that was huge, it was beating
you sent me that picture. Yeah.
I've caught a couple gar, and then I caught a muskie out at Bluegrass the other day. It was wild, Sam. Cool. So I'd been fishing. I'd caught a few fish, and I was like literally in my truck leaving. And if you know where Bluegrass is, okay, there's a couple of lakes. So I was like, well, I'm going to swing in. I'm going to throw a couple in this loon pit that's off the boat ramp that's across from the big pit. And I literally walked up and I started casting a few times, and nothing happened. And I said this to myself. I was like, Lord, it'd probably be pretty cool if you let me catch one of those muskies I hear about in here. And there's a little piece of isolated grass sticking out there, and I threw out by it, dude. It felt like a freight. As soon as I started chatterbait, as soon as I started reeling it in, it felt like a freight train hit it. And I was like, I thought I had a monster bass on because there's big bass. Yeah. I thought, yes. And then I pulled it in and I was like, how am I going to get this guy off the hook? Because you talk about catfish being bad, dude. Them suckers got big old teeth.
Oh man, those teeth are vicious.
And then I threw him off, and the next cast I caught a 5-pound bass. So I was like, man,
it was a good day.
I'm going home.
Well, the Lord heard you, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
There's little things like that sometimes, man. God will just remind you.
Yeah.
You know what? I seen a video today. Have you ever seen the video where it said, if you haven't seen it started off, I saved it. I wonder if I can show that. You know what?
Don't get Don't get that.
This is a Facebook video someone posted. It's okay.
Okay, well, go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah, you talk.
So then, when's the last time you went fishing, Sam?
It was probably Father's Day.
Okay. You go out with your dad?
At the lake at our farm. Yeah.
That's cool. I honestly, I don't know if I've been fishing this year. I haven't
as much as I would like to.
The weather's not been great. Me too, man.
And when it gets to be 95 degrees, it's like,
oh yeah,
I love fishing. I love being outdoors, but it's rough.
Hot.
It's rough.
I don't think you have been fishing this year, Jimmy.
I really don't think I have, man. I haven't done. I don't know what I've done this year, man. We're in July now, which is crazy. I cannot believe we're halfway through this year.
We got college football next month.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I know. That's coming up quick, ain't it?
I think my Purdue Boilermakers might win the national championship this year.
You think so?
They hopefully make a bowl game.
Do you know how to find your saved videos,
dude? Didn't you just hear the conversation we had earlier about how much I hate social media?
Oh look,
is that it?
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
I think I can get it from here. If it's gonna load.
So I would say, like, playing the music too, it's taken a lot of my time away from doing all that kinds of stuff and hunting and fishing. I mean, I would have loved. I didn't go hunting as much as I'd like to this past year, just because we were playing shows and we were doing all that stuff. So
sorry,
it takes away from some of that stuff, but in the end goal, you're like,
yeah.
You hopefully see the end goal. So.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. It requires a lot of your time.
Yeah. You have to give up a lot.
You do. And you have to really love it.
Mm-hmm.
Or else, you won't do it for long. Or you're dumb like me, I just continue to keep on doing it. Year over year over year.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
So keep going. We are just at this point, we're just killing time. Well, Brian finds us a video that
we need a producer
that doesn't know.
We need a producer who wants to donate time to a growing podcast.
Jimmy, so what do you like to do in your free time other than playing music?
Well, that's the problem, Sam. I don't have any free time other than playing music. I mean, my free time when I have it is spent laying on the couch watching YouTube. That is probably like my favorite thing to do.
It's relaxing.
I'm pretty boring, Sam.
What do you watch on YouTube?
I was out hunting.
Anything that's in my recommended, because I'll go down a rabbit hole.
It's dangerous.
It's like videos that I never knew I needed to watch. I watch on YouTube.
Have you ever watched The Outdoor Boys?
No, I don't.
I've seen them a lot, but I've not watched.
You got to. I mean,
The Outdoor Boys. Huh?
Yes, he just posted a farewell video. So he's not making any more videos. That was a rough day when I saw that one.
What kind of content does he have?
He just goes out and roughs it. He brings his kids. It's like a family friendly. It's an awesome thing. He brings his own food, fishes, hunts his own food, just makes tents and habitats and everything out of nothing. He makes igloos out of nothing. And
so he's actually out in nature doing this.
A lot of it's in Alaska.
Okay. Because, I'll watch. Do you ever watch the incognito camping where a guy will camp behind like a road sign or behind a patch of woods in the McDonald's drive-through?
Yeah, they just do like stealth camping or whatever.
Stealth camping.
They'll get tents that look like VW vans and stuff like that. I
went down that rabbit hole for a while.
There's a lot of rabbit holes.
Dude, I got on this one rabbit hole. This dude is called Truck Camp Life or something like that. And this dude lives in Alaska and he goes on he's built this wooden little house.
And he has steps.
Yeah.
And then it shows him making his food. He's got a little bench and that's his bed. I went down that rabbit hole.
And the videos are like an hour and a half. They're like long long form content.
And then I get to the end. I'm like, what have I
just done with my life?
Just wasted my life.
I'm never getting it back.
I couldn't stop watching.
Well, hey, here's what I was talking about, because we were talking about that, the way kind of God shows up. Watch this video. It's pretty cool, man.
I was out hunting today. Come up on this old lake way back in the woods, and I saw an eagle all the way across it. You see the lake. And I said, Lord, I sure would like to get close to that eagle, because sometimes I feel like you don't always hear me. But if you hear me today, let me get close.
I thought that was you. Oh, wow.
I had a bald eagle land on my shoulder. Out here hunting. I don't think you can get no closer than that right there. At all.
That's awesome.
Wow. Dude, in that crazy's the only word. Like,
that's nuts. Wild, man.
Like, Lord, I'd like to get close to that eagle. Sometimes I feel like you don't hear me. Dude, you could hear in his, because I think a lot of people are probably going to say stuff like, "Oh, that was his pet" or whatever. Yeah. Dude, that was adrenaline. That was an adrenaline.
That was definitely adrenaline.
Yeah. So that was cool, man.
That is insane.
I've prayed, Lord, let me get close to that money.
Lord,
still waiting.
Close to that 15-bedroom house.
Still waiting on that.
Yeah.
I did like that high vis Bass Pro Shop hat though. I'd like to get one of those. I like.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That guy's hat.
Man, those are all $5.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I have.
I got some.
I was going to say a couple. That would have been a lie. I have one.
Yeah.
I'm impressed how calm he stayed.
He did.
As a bald eagle lands on your shoulder.
Right.
Yeah.
I would probably run away.
I would probably be scared. Have you seen the videos where they pick up dogs or foxes or
dude.
They'll pick up some big.
Yeah.
I mean,
they could have ripped his ear off.
They could have easily.
And you know what's crazy now though is like now you never know what's AI and what's not. There's some of the AI looks like.
Oh, I know.
I'll be like, I'll watch it for a while. And I'm like, man, that's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
You know. And some of them are ridiculous and look awful, but
yeah.
I can tell you now, one accidentally played a minute ago. Have you seen the new ones they're doing with like their AI Bigfoot?
Oh,
dude, they're hilarious.
I get
yes.
That is all my TikTok is right now. It's AI Bigfoot, AI Yeti.
Yeah, dude, they're hilarious.
And they get me hooked on TikTok for a little too long.
That doom scrolling.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, man, Sam, I think it's been fantastic. And, dude, you definitely got a new fan, man. I'm rooting for you. I'm trying to get Jimmy to root for you too.
You just gotta keep going, and I'll start rooting.
I think
listen to some Jimmy DeTalent music on Spotify.
I will on my way home.
I definitely think and I'm without any lip service or nothing like that, man. I think you got a bright future, brother. I think you're
absolutely.
I think you're very, man, for being your age. Golly, you're so grounded. I love that you give the Lord a lot of credit. And dude, as long, honestly, from me to you, I honestly believe if you keep doing that, everything else will fall into place.
Yep.
Man. When he lift him up, when we lift him up, he a lot of people don't like to believe it, but he elevates us too, man.
Yeah.
You find God's favor in that. So,
and I will add one more thing is, this whole music journey for me is, there's been a lot of ups and downs, and I've had a lot of issues with my vocal cords and the muscles and stuff. And, through all of that and through finding a band and through wanting to quit even after 2 years of learning and just getting on the bandwagon and finally playing a show it has brought me closer to the Lord than probably anything has. And I was the chaplain in my fraternity at Purdue, and I've been close to the Lord for a long time, but things like this, there are certain things that just bring you to the Lord. And I remember I was getting ready for an exam at Purdue, and I knew I was not going to do well because I didn't study too much. So you do what all people will do, and you ask the Lord, please help me with this exam that I did not study for. And so I'm like, I'm going to open my Bible, and I'm going to open a random verse, and this is going to get me through this exam. And it was some verse in Psalms, and it was something about singing to the Lord. And I was like, Lord, this is not going to help me with my exam, but thank you. And so after that exam, I was like, maybe God was telling me something that time. Maybe my path in this life is to lead people to Christ through music.
Yeah.
And my goal is just to do that thing. So hopefully through this podcast and through just playing music and releasing music and meeting people, not even talking to them about Christ, but hopefully they can see Christ through me and just my actions. And I think that's
it's the most effective witness.
That's awesome, man.
You know,
so,
you can tell people all you want, but when they see,
yep.
When they see him in you is when is the difference. Well, man, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us, man. I know we went. That was a lot of conversation, but man, it's great. Like I said, I got nothing but good expectations for you, brother. I think you got a bright future. Just don't. Just keep on keeping on. You know what I'm saying? Keep on keeping on, man. Well, everybody, as always, we love you. Thank you for the opportunity for us to come into your home, to your car, wherever it is. Don't forget, you can follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Spotify. If you're looking for a reason not to listen or watch the DeTalented podcast, Jimmy, there's probably not one.
I can't think of one.
So do all of that for us. And then, as always, before we get out of here, we love you. And Jimmy's got one thing to say.
Well, bye.